Welcome to
Ooh,
another episode of the greatest podcast that anybody who has billions and billions and billions and billions
I've
and
listened to a lot of podcasts. This by far is the best one. I've
the
listened to a
best one
lot.
of all time. All time.
It's
Some
better than
people
Joe's.
some people say that it's way better than Joe's. Anyways, there's a
I
lot of
like
stuff to
Joe,
happen,
man.
fellas. There's a lot of stuff to happen. As you're tuning in, obviously tell your friends about us. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, probably some other stuff, whatever. Clips, YouTube, TikTok, everything. But we got some stuff to talk about, and we're going to open it up today. Fellas, we got a couple of things to talk about. Let me hit this timer. But what's some of y'all's favorite non alcoholic drinks as we have the floor open for about 15 to 20 minutes?
I'm just gonna start it off strong. If Pink Lemonade is not a part of this conversation, get out.
Pink
Let me just
lemonade
start
is
there.
this nation's backbone.
Okay? Pink or strawberry lemonade in some form at any restaurant because they charge you out the ass for it like they're doing something special back there.
They are.
Top
You
top tier.
literally mentioned it first, bro. Like they are doing
I know.
something special with it. That's why
Yeah,
you hooked.
yeah. I mean, even the old school high C, if
Ooh.
straight out of Ken's Pizza type
Nah,
shit.
bro. The McDonald's one was the.
The McDonald's up there,
Yeah.
low key. Chili's. We talk
Yeah.
about Chili's
Yeah.
pink lemonade.
Yeah.
If we're talking about it, I mean that's
Everywhere
my
should have
that's
some good pink lemonade. I haven't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably won't get none because if I drink a big glass of two or three of pink lemonade, brother, I'm going home and sitting on the recliner. I'm kicking them feet up,
hmm
and I might not move for about an hour or two. I'm hitting the pose. Just
yeah, it's full on
Ken, what you got?
resting.
Hot take. Pink lemonade is ass.
Here we go.
Hey,
Here
Marlon,
we
Pink
go ahead and
lemonade's
mute your mic.
trash, bro. It is
Here
Mute the
we
trash.
mic.
go.
Strawberry
Mute
lemonade,
the
cool.
mic.
I'm
No,
cool with
strawberry
strawberry.
lemonade. Strawberry lemonade.
Pink lemonade is
I think it's
trash.
taken. I'm thinking it's taken.
I
I'm not
said
gonna
pink
lie.
and strawberry, but
And
what's
I'm
yours?
just and I'm
Okay.
just I'm just separating. Big dog.
I
Pink
like a
lemonade's
lot of.
trash.
I like a
Strawberry
lot
lemonade's
of.
cool.
I like a lot of flavored lemonades, though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No. Yeah, it's not bad. I like I feel like especially being in the part of the country we're from, brother, you gotta throw some sweet tea down. You gotta throw some sweet tea on the
I don't
As
list.
even
lo-
count that.
as
That's
long
like
as
you
is
were born and raised
yeah,
in
but
it. That's a standard.
as long as it's good sweet tea, because I've had some
Yep.
bad sweet tea, and
Yeah.
like you ever had like McDonald's or like Taco Mayo or somewhere where you get some good sweet tea like
hmm
Chicken Express and they flop them, and so
Yeah.
you're like, man, I can't wait for this sweet tea, and then you take a and it's unsweet tea,
Bro,
bro,
it's terrible.
bro.
But listen,
The
that's a
pound of
technicality.
sugar that was in
You could
every
get
bottle of
you
Red
could
Diamond
get
is insane.
strawberry lemonade that's got too much tart. I mean,
That's fact. That's fact. That's fact.
also, man, listen, we're all a bunch of unks. I mean, you can't have a drink list without coffee.
Facts.
Sorry.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Facts. I'm more
I mean,
team
that's in the
coffee than
wheelhouse.
energy drink now.
Yeah, for
Energy drink
sure.
to me is first it blows my stomach up, and I get caught in red lights and all kinds of stuff, and I just nah, bro. I've been caught slipping way too many times with energy drinks, and then it just makes me. It doesn't do anything. Like I'm not energized. I'm just my heart is just. And I'm like, bro, what is going on? So I don't really mess with energy drinks like that as much. Now, if I'm having a bad day, like I was this morning, the wife leaves one of them white or yellow Red Bulls in there. I'll knock it out. I'll knock it out. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie to
no,
you.
no wrong with that. Okay.
Only time I drink energy drinks is at the bar, fellas. And a Jaeger bomb or a Vegas bomb.
Gross, gross. I never want to hear
Yeah.
anything bomb
I
again.
mean, also, call me crazy if we're gonna go unk status or if you're gonna go any status that makes you an established gentleman. I feel like Coke Zero or Diet Coke really need to be a part of this
Hey,
conversation.
give me zero anything. And I also saw
Yeah.
that there's Mountain Dew Code Red Zero. It's just not in Oklahoma yet, so I need some people to get with it. Cause once that's here, or if it ever comes, it's over with.
Bro, you know what
I
I
will
saw in the
say,
store the other day? I didn't even know existed anymore. Livewire. When the
Oh,
hell
it's
they bring
still
that
there?
back?
I don't
Bro,
did they bring it back?
I don't know, bro.
I'm telling
Maybe it's
you, I
part of the
saw it at
spring
an on
pack.
queue. I saw it on
Bring
on
back
queue.
Vault.
I was
Bring
like,
back Vault.
oh,
Bring
Volt.
back
Oh
Vault.
No,
my God.
Brother. I know, I mean,
no.
really, you don't because it wasn't horrible, but it was horrible for you. And I think if I drank a Vault right now, especially in
Bro.
my old age status, I couldn't handle it.
the
Bro,
things that would
throwback.
happen.
Give me a. In my younger days, give me some Fruitopia, big dog. That
Ooh,
shit
the
was
one in the
diabetes
junior
in a
high
bottle,
in the
bro.
that
Yes,
vending, bro.
Yeah.
yes, dog. That shit was fire.
I used to max out whenever my brother's kids were little and they would have bug juice and there might be a couple extra in the
Oh
fridge.
yeah,
I ain't gonna
bro.
front.
Hey,
I'm
Them
destroying the
little,
bug juice.
yeah,
bro. Them
bro.
little fucking barrels too. Oh,
Man,
Oh yeah.
man.
Pound of sugar in there.
And I'm not
Make it
gonna lie
work.
to y'all. For me, I gotta stick with the classic, even though I don't drink a lot of it anymore. Give me a Mountain Dew. Give me a Mountain
Mountain
Dew.
Dew.
Get you
Give
a
me a
whole
Mountain Dew.
2 liter
Give me a
Mountain
David, a
Dew.
whole two. And for people listening who does like to, drink a little bit, we found out in the past
Mm-hmm.
that if you mix some Jack Daniels with Mountain Dew, you don't taste anything bad. It just tastes like Jack Daniels, but the kick you get or any none of that exists.
Burn. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not there.
Or you drink that shit to the top of the label and then fill it back up with Jack,
Yeah. It's
bro.
dangerous. It is very
Boy,
dangerous because you will drink yourself
boy.
into alcohol poisoning. So please don't do that. But I mean, Mountain Dew to me is a classic, and it'll always be a classic. I love some. And then honestly, bro, give me some give me some water. Give me some water,
Good
especially
old
let me
I
glass of
feel
ice water.
brother.
like,
Let
yeah,
me paint the picture though.
nice
Go
crisp
outside.
water.
It's about May, June. You're doing some yard work. It starts to get hot. You start sweating. You're out there. You're fighting through it, trying to get the job done. You're like, man, I used to do this all the time in my youth. And you're just like, I'm gonna fight as long as I can. And finally, you hit that point where it's like, man, I need some water. And you go in the house and you get you a big glass full of water, and you just start chugging it. Goaded. It makes you feel like you're back in 2 days in 106-degree heat, and you
Hold on.
just drink it.
Whoa, Marlon. Let's slow down.
Nah, bro.
Some of our listeners may not know what it's like to drink out of the fucking bar. You know, the water bar.
Well, then you just put whatever twist.
Everything's bottled water now, these
I mean, it's
fucking
probably
pansies.
The
safer. I'm not gonna
fucking
lie, but
the trough. It
hey,
was basically a
a
trough.
trough.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was a PVC pipe that had holes in it, and
Yeah.
they cut that bitch on.
And
That's what it
only
was.
by the grace of God, if coach was feeling sorry,
Facts,
go get a drink of
facts,
water.
facts. People,
Never mind the fucking 106
here's a
degrees.
rabbit hole. Here's a rabbit hole before we switch over to the next one. But when's the last good high school football movie?
Hmm.
It's And the
Friday
reason I'm
Night
asking is
Lights?
because like
Well,
that,
there's been
but
some
that,
recent ones.
but that like that is the epitome of essentially what we're talking about. Is like that's the mood of like they were drinking out of troughs and doing stuff like that, and
Hmm.
that's
Mhm.
kind of us. But when's the last good high school football movie? Like the one that took the world by storm because Friday Night Lights had people and like everybody was locked in on it. Remember the Titans had the whole world locked on. Like there was some good
They had
classic high
every
school.
substitute teacher of all time locked in
Yeah,
because that's
Yeah.
all
facts.
that we played.
Yeah, but like that's when's the last
Oh
one
goddamn!
I
that you
would
can
say
remember?
like the last it wasn't a movie, but the Friday Night Lights show was pretty solid. I
Yeah,
felt like
I think that's what
Yeah,
it'll
that's
have to
probably the
trend
most
to.
recent.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what it'll
outside
have
of
to trend
that,
to now.
it's really not talked about like that anymore. Now it's like safety.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, again, I think it'll be different. But like the Friday Night Lights series, like Cam was talking about, was pretty cool, and that's kind of where everything has moved. Not as much attention on movie theaters or movies and stuff, and it's more about series and whatnot.
Shows and
But yeah,
stuff.
so I can see that. But
Because
I
All
mean,
American is trash.
yeah. Well,
All American is trash.
give me a good series, and it not like a real series too. Like Last Chance U was dope for college and stuff, but like I want a high
Mm.
school version. Like I want a high school version of like y'all
They
remember
tried,
you
man.
remember Two A Days on
Yeah.
Hmm.
MTV? Yeah,
Hmm.
like if you want
My
to
wife
be
has the first 2 seasons on DVD when I moved in
word,
with her. Yeah, on
hey, go
DVD.
go. I remember watching that. I think season two. I don't think they showed it, but I'm pretty sure they played Tulsa Union and beat the entire shit out of them.
Yeah.
But
Out here in Hoover, Alabama
yeah,
with Coach Probst.
yeah. Isn't he
You
on?
know what's
He's on
crazy?
somebody's staff now, isn't he? Georgia's.
Well, here's the thing. He there was a scandal involving him, right? And
Mm.
Jesus, sorry, I'm sneezing.
Bless you, man.
So
Bless you.
Allergies,
that's
brother.
why he left. That's why he left Hoover. Well, there's another show on Netflix where he's the head coach of it. It's called like Titletown USA
Oh,
or
that's right. That's where I
Titletown
saw his
High
name.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And it's
All right.
not that bad, but there's only like one season of it. And they
Nice.
can't get it to stick. There was that
Duh.
show QB1 as well. That was pretty good.
Mm. I get it. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna pivot and go on to the question that Cam asked, which is, if you were a pro athlete, what are you spending your first check on? Obviously, Isaiah's gonna spend his on fucking allergy medicine because he's over there. um, I've thought about it. It's probably the easy answer is I'm buy a house. I'm getting off the grid wherever, whatever city or whatever state I'm in. I'm buying. I'm gonna build a house on some land, 5, 6, 7 acres, couple ponds, get away from everything and everybody. That way, whenever I eventually flop out of this league, I don't have any debt and I'm away from everybody.
I would probably spend my first check. I'd probably take care of my mom. Probably make sure she's taken care of. If she likes the house she's in, I'd pay it off for her. If not, I'd buy her a new house. Um, and then I'd take care of myself and obviously get myself set up like you said, with a house, in a area of town on probably on some land too, uh, or I can just be in privacy. But
X.
yeah,
See,
that's
and
probably what I'd spend my first check on. But I'd also look into like
investing.
who all the steps of my life that helped develop me to the person I am. Like I would want to give back to the school I grew up in. I would want to give back to the town I grew up in. Um,
Goddamn, how big is your first contract? What?
well, I'm just saying
Number
I
one
would
draft
think
pick?
No,
about
Absolutely.
you
all that,
number one
bro.
Oh yeah,
overall,
okay.
Yeah.
dog.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying I would think about those things, but guaranteed I would take care of my mom first and then get
Yeah,
myself out.
see that me building like a house on land or whatever, parents' house is getting thrown up out there
Yeah,
automatically.
right.
And then I'm just getting out of town. Actually, I may buy 500,000 lottery tickets and try to hit the lottery. So, I mean,
Have you
that
ever
may
thought
be
about
fun.
why people don't do that? Like, you could just keep stacking money. Like, they have enough money to buy a shitload of lottery tickets.
Man, I don't even think they think of the lottery.
Increase your
The lottery is
chances.
lottery's not even on their algorithms. They don't even know what it is.
Look, I'm gonna. It's pretty simple what I'm gonna do with my first check. You can call me selfish, all right? I get my first check. I already know I'm getting at least a full year's worth, and if they cut me, they still gotta pay me. If I'm the number one overall draft pick, I'm going full Johnny Manziel for a week, and then after that, I'm settling back down. Okay, I'm taking care of moms. I'm acquiring some property for my wife and I. But my wife is going to be joining me with that bender, dude. We're going all out. I'm talking about waking up, little hair of the dog that bit you, full
This
scale.
motherfucker's
Like,
getting cut 3 days into his career.
I
Not
don't give
even
a
3 days.
fuck.
Once this the story leaks on social media that they saw you rooting and tooting at your ass is grass.
Look, first of all, I'm not going to be out
Start,
in public like
bro,
that. I'm
brother.
just
There's no like, especially when you sign something that big, there is no private with the phones, bro. Everybody's just picking it up and watching you rooting too, unless you go to just a spot where no one really knows that you're even there, and then you
exactly.
okay.
I'm
So you,
going to Henry Hudson's, baby.
this guy spend 500
Living it
bucks. And
up.
that's all you're doing,
Out,
man.
yeah, I could die from alcohol poisoning spending $180 at Henry Hudson's. I'll be fine. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm going full Manziel for about a day or two, then resetting, and then taking care of the people that I need to take care of. Obviously, my mom's, breaking tea off with some money, buying a house, just the normal things that you need to do for the people that have seen you through. And I mean this respectfully, I love Cameron's answer, but I am not getting or giving a dime back to where I went to high school. Respectfully, they already
There,
got enough.
there would be possibly three coaches that I would try. I wouldn't try, but I would do something for them, even if it was like paying off their house, paying off a vehicle or something like that. I would do it. Those three coaches will name anonymous. However, one of them coached me in football my freshman year. One of them coached me in basketball my freshman year, and one of them was the high school football coach whenever I was a junior and a senior. Wink. Anyways, um,
Hmm.
outside of that, we'd have to have conversations. Um,
Because you guys are basically saying you're not celebrating this contract at all, and I'm gonna take care
no,
of that
no,
first, and
no,
then I'm gonna lock
no,
in.
because
Okay.
I'm a ball of anxiety, my guy. So I'm already thinking I'm gonna get cut. I'm not giving you no reason to cut me. Fuck that. You think I want to go back to
Look,
fucking pulling orders? No, I'm cool.
all you have to do is refer to Johnny Manziel and how he didn't do shit and still lasted at least a year and a half in the league.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that was with the Browns. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is all what if. Because if you're
Even
in
Kadarius
baseball,
Tony's got a Super Bowl.
brother, if you're in baseball and you're partying like that and you get up and they ring your ass up your first 12 at bats, your ass is grass, bud. You're grass.
It is
And if
celebrated to drink beers in
and
baseball
and if you're, let's say you go to
in between
basketball and you
innings.
just get your ankles broke, you're fried.
Obviously, you're not practicing the next day. That's what I'm saying. Give yourself a week and then do the normal things. Guys, it's not controversial to say it. Everybody does it. Well, not everybody, but the
Well,
That's
majority of the
crazy
people will
work, bro.
do it.
listen, because my mindset is I'll give you one night. But after that, I'm trying to lock in because I don't give a shit
Okay.
about the first contract.
Also, hold on.
I'm trying to get to the max on
Facts,
my second
facts.
Also,
And then
contract.
that max,
And
then
then
we
fellas,
I'll
can
fucking,
turn
yeah,
up.
then I'll be
let's
like to
let's
everybody.
hold on. Let's rewind the clocks though. We're all in our 30s. Rewind the clocks to the age that you would be to get that first round draft pick, to get that contract.
hmm
Mindset's totally different. Okay, I'm just
But,
being realistic with the mindset that I would
hold
have at
on,
that
No,
age.
no.
hold
For
on,
me, the
because
mindset is not.
circumstances are different.
Well, for me, the mindset wouldn't have changed because my answer is would have been my answer then. Now, would I have partied a bit or had like y'all like close friends come over and do like a barbecue or something like that?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, but I'm not going on a
Going on a
Johnny
bender.
Manziel bender. Yeah, bro. That's max contract, dog. Like that's the first contract is usually the all right, dip your toes, but understand you got to pay agent taxes and all that other stuff, right? That's what that's in. I've understood that from a young age because of our access to stories like on TV from
Mm.
former
Mm-hmm.
athletes. So I've known that from a long time. Like, don't blow it. But once I get that max contract, Isaiah,
Bro,
once
once
I
you get
get
that
that max,
280
like
mil over
Once I
five,
what?
get
200
that
guaranteed.
rookie extension,
Well, y'all gonna think I'm gonna start a reality series on the side. As that's how crazy I'm gonna go. Yeah, I would have went nuts.
okay,
Hamburglar.
Lamar.
Yeah, facts. Did you watch it? It's
Yes, bro.
crazy. Somebody tweeted, and I was like, "This is exactly how I felt after watching it." And they said, "I watched that documentary, hoping that it was a redemption story of him getting off of cocaine, and it's not.
It's not at
It's
all,
not."
bro. You watch the full thing and you're like, oh, so he's just delusional. And
Facts.
he was like, I can't believe somebody gave me crack when I'm Lamar Odom and I just
Got out.
almost died from
Like,
smoking
bro,
crack. I'm
what?
like, then why did you stop?
Bro, no, I was like, bro, what? You thought they weren't gonna sell it to you? Like, that's crazy
Yeah.
work. They don't care about you. That should be understood.
Part of me felt bad for Chloe through the whole
No,
thing,
I
you know.
actually did. I remember in real
Yeah.
time, I did not feel bad for Chloe at all. But like watching that documentary, I was like, man, I feel actually bad for her. She was like the best thing for him, and then he had a
He
chance,
fucked
and
it
then
up. He fucked it.
he was
She was
like,
gonna stay with you
yeah,
after
forever.
you were in a brothel
Yeah,
smoking crack and
not
taking
even crack. He
boner
took like
pills.
14 boner pills and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
bro,
they were
what?
like, take one on the bottle, and this motherfucker took 14.
Yeah, and it's
Was
like, all right,
throwing up, about to die.
yeah, that
This
yeah.
dude-
All right, but
I'm not going that level, okay? I will say that. I will not
mhm,
go that
that's
level,
not what
I
I
period.
heard.
don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's
But you was
controversial the way
yeah,
you came out firing.
facts.
Came out firing to let y'all know that I will be celebrating.
But all right, we got another 10 to 15. Let's talk about the NBA award winners, who we think they're going to be MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved, who you think is going to win the Coach of the Year. Who y'all think? We can start. Let's start with Most Improved. Who you think will win Most Improved?
Man, I like Nikhil Alexander Walker right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Early for that award. I almost had a thought that it could be LaMelo Ball, but then
brother,
he
I
just
said,
he,
hey,
he He said,
We here, bro. No, we here because like I was like technically you could give most improved to LaMelo because this is
I
the
mean,
first year outside of his diehard fan base that thinks he can do no wrong and that he's the greatest player of all time. Outside of that,
yeah.
people who actually objectively watch basketball and criticize it the
Hmm.
correct way, you look at it and say like LaMelo hasn't really done anything. Like he's a social media sensation, but like in the game of basketball, it wasn't like he was just that
Yeah.
great. And this year was the first year that I was like, oh no, he actually took a step
Yeah.
forward, which is funny because Cam called him out on the show. And
Mm.
he
Yeah.
started for like shortly after
He
he just
responded.
tween, step back, tween, and just started hitting.
Yeah.
Green.
I think their
Shibbity
chemistry
bit
is
bit
kind of
bit.
off with that team. They need to really figure out, like, because you got three young guys on that team that are all really good at. One's really good at facilitating. The other one's good as a pure scorer. The other one's good as a
I
pure
just
shooter.
I just feel
How
like
does
they
that
don't.
fall into each other? Yeah, they don't
I don't feel
click
like they
together
don't
for some
run an
reason.
offense. They just go out and play
Fuck no!
pickup
Why
ball.
would you? Why would you? Look
I
how
mean, you
young
got to
they
have
are.
the
You got to
best
be
teams
able
in
to.
the league, no matter how good you are, have structure. Like you
Yeah,
got to be able to
that's
run sets.
and it's
I think
just for
they
the
try.
playoffs. Well, it's just for the playoffs. Like
Is that
that's the thing is you can look at teams and they'll show you that they can run up and down the court and play AAU
yeah?
style, but
But
whenever you
like
get to the end of the season, you have to be able to run at
that's
a half court.
that's why
Yeah,
like LeBron before he got to Miami and they started running him through the post, he didn't ever fucking win in the playoffs. And Harden couldn't get it done because you're never gonna win with the pickup style where you just take the ball and ISO at the top and you know
You got to
nobody
be
ever
able to.
has. Russ couldn't
Yes.
do it.
You got
Harden
to be
couldn't do
able
it.
to run
Kobe
a
ran
half court.
sets, ran the triangle.
The half
You
court
could ISO
cannot
out of it,
be,
but
yeah, well, but you have to get to your spot. The problem whenever
yeah,
you run in like an ISO style or just a run and gun is whenever you can't run and gun, everybody gives the best player on the team the ball and then he just dribbles the air out of it
yeah.
and then takes a stupid shot. And the defense will live with it every time. Like as to
And it,
where
and it,
if
and
you go
it, people
off
don't.
ball, get him in a place that he wants the ball, it's a lot harder. But yeah, LaMelo's not
And
doing
you're
that.
also given like when you run a set and you're working off the ball. You're making the entire defense move and fight through screens, and as opposed to where like in the ISO style, everybody just stands there. So the other team doesn't even get tired playing defense. They just stand there. Like I don't
Facts.
know. I don't know. They need to
But
run sets, but yeah.
yeah, but
I
now
mean, I
I
also
oh go
he
ahead.
between those two, I also like what's his name? A guy from my Spurs. Okay,
Stephon Castle.
I mean,
no,
I was gonna say Castle.
I was
Uh,
gonna say
Harper?
De'Aaron Fox,
Yeah.
but
I don't really say
I
him
No,
don't think
because
because his
Harper's.
De'Aaron Fox when he first came in the league, his ceiling I think is about where it's at now. I wouldn't say he improved. I think he's gotten back to where he was at one point because he was considered like a top 5, 6 point guard in the league at one point. But
Yeah, but I
I'd
mean
say Castle
those are
more.
the only people.
Luke Kennard.
Yeah, Marlon is one game. Okay,
Hey, bro, that's all we needed.
let's
That's
set
all we
that order.
needed. That's all we needed.
It
All right.
was one game, but no, those
I
are my
think most improved, I would say I like Nikhil Alexander Walker, but I also like Denny Avija, I think was pretty fucking
Yeah,
solid this year. And AJ Mitchell. You can't not include AJ Mitchell, man. He was fucking
I don't
solid for the
even.
Thunder.
But what sucked is I wouldn't even consider that improved. I just think that he was able to get more minutes. Not downplaying what he's done. It's just
Yeah.
like anytime he gets on the floor, he's extremely efficient and he's really good. Like with the
Yeah.
Thunder, it's just this was the first year that he was really getting those minutes. Last year he was battling injuries, and then how the team was set up for what they
But the way
needed
they
in the
give out
playoffs, he
awards,
didn't have to play.
the way
Yeah.
they give awards, that would be it. But
Hmm.
who do y'all think defensive player of the year?
Wemby.
It's got to be,
Wimby.
yeah, Wimby. It's
If
not
it's
even
not
close.
Wimby, and I just get rid of the award if we're being 100%
Yeah.
honest, because
Like I
it's
think Chet had an argument early in the season because of his effective rate at the rim.
Hmm.
But dude, Wemby just took off, and then when Wemby just abused him 3 straight games, it's like okay, if he makes the game minimum,
well
there's
I
no
the
mean, who
question.
would
well
even
the
be
I
the
don't
other
know who
person that
they
you?
could, but I mean Dylan Brooks, but I don't know who
I
else
would
they
say,
could
I would
because
say,
Besides
I would say
Rudy
what's his
Gobert.
nuts in Boston. Um, God dang it, Derek White. He had a
Oh,
pretty good defensive year.
yeah. But when's the last time they've
It's
actually given it to a
so
wing
tough
defender?
to get. Yeah, that's what I'm
Guard,
saying.
wasn't it
Yeah,
Marcus Smart? I know he got
exactly.
Defensive Player of the Year one year, but I think that was like 20. It was either 2019 or like 2022, 2021. It's in that
It was a
range.
weird year, probably. I mean, I, I mean, who would have been another guard? Let's say it's not Wimby, right? Let's say
Yeah.
Wimby didn't
We
qualify
riot.
because he didn't play enough
We
games.
riot.
He said, "We riot." That he's the only one that deserves it. I mean, that's my
I would
biggest thing. There's
say,
nobody else that I would really consider.
Rudy Gobert, give it to him.
dude,
Oh my
Rudy
fucking
Gobert is like a
god!
seven-time winner of that
I
award,
know
man.
it's
Get him out, get
stupid.
his ass
Which
out
It's
of
is
here.
dumb.
insane.
They could have
It
gave
is
it to so many different
insane,
players in that time
Yeah.
frame, and it's
dude.
just
He
stupid.
gets fucking abused
Abused.
now.
He's one of the only. This is what irritates me about Rudy Gobert. Before we move on, I don't want to rabbit hole too much, but like what pisses me off about Rudy Gobert is he's mentioned with next to names like Ben Wallace, and Ben was never a defensive liability.
And
And
Ben
Yeah.
this
was
guy, and
undersized.
yeah, and this guy every playoff season, every series, you know what the other team is gonna do: pick and
Mhm.
roll, make him switch, and then just heem,
Cook
and
him.
Yeah.
Or if you're playing against a guy that has an athletic 5 or 4 guard, they
Yeah.
bring him out and they fucking cook him
I I'll
every
tell
time.
y'all, I think what exposed Rudy was the year that OKC had CP because everybody was so used to him abusing Russ because Russ had no midi. When CP came in and ran that high pick and roll with Steve Adams and just would just stop and pop that mid range, that little elbow jumper, and he was abusing Rudy Gobert out in space. And I think that just kind of
yeah, everybody said, "Oh, that." Hey,
So we
barbecue
got
that's how you
chicken,
coach
beat
of
this
the year.
motherfucker.
barbecue
Yeah,
We
chicken,
got
coach
coach
of
of
the
the
year.
year, MVP, coach of the year.
I'd
I
say
almost was
Joe
gonna say the
Mazzulla.
guy from the Hornets, but yeah, I think Missoula wins it this year
Yeah,
I
because
mean, dude, what a
everybody was
year.
selling on the Celtics, and they're a
Yeah.
two
even
seed.
the Celtics, they were selling on it, huh, Cole?
I would say I would also give an argument to
Cole.
Atlanta's head coach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know who it
Is that,
is.
I mean,
yeah. JJ
I don't feel
Redick is
like,
Oh,
definitely the
Quinn
candidate
Snyder?
for the
Is it
coach of
Quinn
the year.
Snyder? Yeah,
is it Quinn?
Yeah, yeah. JJ
yeah, Quinn
Redick.
Snyder.
Yeah, this has got
JJ
to be
Rip.
JJ Redick. It's got to be.
Okay. You know what's crazy is since he's took over the team, they've had back to back winning 50-win seasons for the first time
Mhm.
since like the Kobe era.
I feel like
Like
he's a good coach, bro. I just feel like he's hamstrung by LeBron.
Yeah, well, it's
I
just it's
mean,
I
him and it's also the roster. Like
yeah.
yeah,
it got better with the Luke Kennard trade because he does offer some spacing. But before that, like Gabe Vincent, that the
Hey,
trade
man.
that the Lakers made, like that won them game one. The trade they made Gabe Vincent
Yeah.
for Luke Kennard, that won them
yeah,
game one. And they had been rocking with Gabe Vincent like he was just prime Gary Payton.
yeah, which is
It's crazy his
hilarious.
downfall because that 1 or 2 years he was in Miami, he was fucking solid.
Yeah, bro,
Like he was a
Pat
good role
Riley was
player.
But
running people
but it
like they're
was but it was
Derrick Rose
how
in the
they
playoffs.
used him. It was how they used him.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy was the guy. You had Goran, who was a little bit older, but Goran was like the guy that would settle shit down. And you had good shooting between Duncan Robinson, the streaky shooting of Tyler Hero, and Gabe Vincent was your corner three. He was your corner three guy.
He was
That's
our
all he
corner
Didn't they
was.
have one
three.
of the
He
Martin
wasn't
brothers
hitting
too?
shit.
I think they had one of the Martin brothers too, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Caleb. I
Caleb.
think Caleb
Yeah.
Martin.
Yeah.
So they were so good as far as like on the defensive end, and they would just run, bro. They were really fast, really athletic team. That's what got into the finals. But since then, I didn't even realize Gabe Vincent was on the fucking Hawks until
Yeah.
the trade. I was like, oh,
Yep.
where has
Hmm.
he been?
That's a good trade. And then finally MVP, which I think it's back to back.
Back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You know what the
Marlon,
crazy
hold
thing
on
is?
now.
I think that Shea wins it this year with no discussion. I think next year is a super tight race for the three-peat or Wemby, and then I think as long as Wemby doesn't get hurt, I think Wemby takes off and owns it for a long time after
And
that.
guess what? And I'm going different, and I'll place the bet on Prize Picks right motherfucking now. If the
You picking
Lakers
Bronny?
lose
No, he's picking Luke.
Bron, Luca is gonna
Luka,
win the
yeah.
MVP.
But you know what's insane is that they filed that appeal for him to qualify for
The awards.
yearly awards,
Yes.
and he's not going to win it.
No, he already did.
I no, I know he
Yeah.
won the appeal, but he's not going to win an MVP.
No,
I mean,
they
No, no,
that's
no.
really
Yeah,
they
but
did it because of the
it'll
All
be all
NBA.
NBA. Yes, because that
all the
affects your
All
paycheck.
NBA stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's
I mean,
not
I
just
get
to
that.
win
And
the
then they
awards. It's just for
disqualified Edwards.
yeah,
They were like, no,
yeah.
not you, and you have too many baby mamas.
Facts. You bad for the sport. You're a
But I
clown, as
thought
Nick
that was
Wright
the
said.
reason why was that he was trying to push to
No,
put his name in the
no.
MVP
No.
race.
He had a
No, he was
case, and then they just fell apart.
and they
There
said
was
the
a
only reason
stretch.
why him and Cade won their appeals and Ant didn't was because they were no-brainer first team All NBAs.
Yeah,
And Edwards wasn't going to be first team. So
right.
they approved those two and then denied his, which I
Yes.
think is stupid.
Don't be mad at the. Don't hate the player, hate the
It
game.
doesn't matter, Marlon. Y'all are going to win and then come to Oklahoma City and get baptized.
We'll see. No, hopefully it happens. That way Brown's gone, and then we can actually start over. I don't want to say
Hey,
start
that'd be a
over,
good
but start
conversation.
with the highest scoring backcourt in the
Of
NBA.
all time. Of all
In the
time.
NBA.
That'd be a good conversation for a later date where we think Braun ends up.
At the house, but okay.
I mean, where does Bronny end up?
At the house. Anyways, so let's go ahead and Isaiah asked the question: which sport has the biggest gap from college to the pros?
I've been pondering on this question, and I'm trying to distinctively separate like hype from a player that gets them drafted in the first round, or you know what I mean? Like they were a good performer in college, but the gap between college to the
It
pros is
just
so
takes
much
them a
different.
lot longer to learn.
Yes, to learn and develop, and then I broaden my horizons on like every sports that we might not necessarily follow as religiously as we do others. I think it's pretty fucking hard in baseball, respectfully,
Yeah.
to get to that point. I also think that
So oh shit, in that sense, I agree, but I
mm,
do think that it's there's a couple of different things in baseball. I think it's similar to football of like the speed
yeah,
of it. You're not like
yes,
it's like your timing is what like helps
yeah,
you develop kind of thing. Some people have it, some people don't.
yeah,
There are
and
others.
like natural talent. I think the biggest discrepancy that I always see is like I would probably say football off the top of my head, but we also don't follow like hockey, right?
Facts.
How big of a gap is it from a first rounder, going to the show to playing in like a developmental league or a semi pro league or something like that? Because we only hear about the big names. But if you really start getting in the weeds of like different sport or like soccer, right? Soccer has a ton of hype, but there's teams overseas that literally you go to academies and you develop that skill of playing soccer from the age of like 10, and if you get drafted, how hard it is to get on a club team, and when you get there, how hard it is to make it to the Premier League or
That
La
route
Liga, or
that
you
route
know what
that
I
you
mean.
just mentioned though wouldn't really be fit in the topic because it's from college to the pros. So if they're not at a
Yeah,
college, but I do think
well,
a
I mean,
college
with
kid that's playing
prep,
in soccer
yeah,
or like playing soccer here, and then they try to go
yeah,
make it pro that way, it is very hard because you're
yeah,
competing with people at an international level because there's very few big U.S. soccer teams. So for you to make actual money and be considered an actual pro, for the most part, you have to go international. Um,
yeah,
Baseball is like that. Like it's very hard because, like you said, it's the speed, the strategy, and then a couple of other things. And I think basketball is like it's hard. I don't think the speed or any. I don't think being a hooper is that hard to translate. I think it's just finding your
exactly,
role. I think it's
exactly,
that.
yeah,
Like in when you come out of college, a lot of the time the dude is just the man. And so his
hmm
ego and everything fits the man. And that gap is hey, now LeBron is the man, Shea is the man, and Edwards is the man. Like these guys are the man. You can't also be the man unless you're better than them, and you're not. So now,
hmm
what do you go do? Are you okay just defending? Are you okay hitting just corner threes, or are you going to do like somebody like Cam Reddish, where you're
hmm
not the man and you just fizzle out of the league like that because you
Yeah.
can't find a role.
I think it's the easiest to translate to get into the pros as far as the NBA. And I say that lightly because it's still really, really hard. I think the hype around what you are in college and your intangibles, that hype grows and then it puts you in that position a lot easier than maybe a different sport. Because in all world, right, like prospect in like baseball, right? They might get drafted in the first round number overall, but we might not see them in a major league game for 2 to 3 years.
Sometimes we forget about them.
Yeah, I mean, you get those unicorns of like Bryce Harper's, where Bryce Harper really didn't play a lot of developmental ball before he got called up. Even when they tried with oh my god, I'm forgetting his name, with another I can't remember his name. But then I look at football. Football, I think, is one of the biggest separators because of how vast it is from
Ye-
college to
Hey,
the
hey,
pros
hey,
and to
you,
get recognized.
hey, you talking to a diehard. But I think the difference in for baseball and football is baseball, it's hard no matter where you go. Like it doesn't
Hmm.
matter where your position is, it doesn't matter how you specialize as a hitter. It's hard regardless, right? In
Hmm.
football, for receivers, in my opinion, it's not that hard. It's not that hard
Hmm.
because you just have to be fast. You have to be able to get open, and it translates like that. I think for some running backs, it can translate really easy. But then quarterback, it's very difficult to translate. For certain offensive linemen, it's difficult because you have to go to a scheme and you have to fit that scheme. If you come from a zone blocking scheme and you got to go man on man, it's difficult, right? But I
Hmm.
don't think overall, I think a lot of the skill positions really that translation is easy. And that's why we constantly see wide receivers come out like Puka, like JSN, that are just young Jettas, Jamar Chase, that just take the league by storm, is because it's not, I think in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, wide receivers translation was very hard because you were asked to do way more as far as blocking and shit like that. But now,
You were asked to
brother,
go across the middle.
yeah, yeah. Well, you were at, what did Mike Irvin say? You had to go all, over the middle when they was knocking niggas out. I'll be like,
Yeah.
that's
I ran
that's
that bang gate, and no matter
yeah,
what, I was
yeah.
gonna catch it.
So back then, yes, it definitely was. But I mean, I'm a lean
That's why he
baseball
had the
guy.
push
I
off,
don't know.
bro. I was scared. I'd be scared too if I was
Yeah,
going
yeah,
across the middle of the '90s.
yeah.
I'm a little
Like
different than y'all though, man. I think basketball is probably the hardest because I feel like in basketball, you basketball takes technical skill. I mean, you have your athletes, yeah, but I've just seen so many people that I would watch in college that were efficient, effective, dominated, and I'm like, yeah, that dude's pretty solid. And then he gets to the league, and because he can't find a role, because you know, because he doesn't have a counter move to their move. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's so much, the technical skills are so much better in the league, they phase out. And I've seen way more busts in the NBA than I've seen in any other sport. Hey man, whoa. Baseball, I don't know, man. I see I see in baseball high school players go pro consistently. And I see them, even if it takes them a year or two, they're working their way through the farm system. That's fine. All of that is still pro baseball. So working your way through against other draft picks that are also working their way up, you're still playing pro baseball. And, the majority of your adjustment in pro baseball is just timing. You have to catch up to the pitches. Once you get your timing down, solid. As long as you can field the ball and you can make contact, that's all you have to do. So I don't feel like, and there's probably a lot of baseball fans out there probably gonna get mad at me, but
trust me,
fuck them,
Cameron's the biggest baseball fan
fuck
on
them.
this
Yeah,
podcast. Like,
I just, man, bro, it's about mechanics. Like if,
yeah,
and you learn that at a young age. If you just,
Yeah,
if
it's
you're,
about
if you,
drive. It's about power. We
if
say.
you, no, it's not about fucking exit velo and fuck all that. If you have good mechanics and you're raised and your coach has grown up, raised you with good mechanics, you can make it as far as you want in baseball. You just have to have mechanics. That has to be your baseline. I just feel like in basketball, every level you go up, is just another step of like just technical skill. Like, even the most non-athletic players have some form of skill. And then you have people like your DeJuan Blairs or uh your the Bennett guy that Cleveland drafted number one overall.
Anthony.
I mean, yeah, like, but then they're just flops all the
Hold on.
time.
Whoa, whoa.
He said, "Whoa,
DeJuan
whoa."
Blair
DeJuan Blair
was
had a
not a
solid
flop.
backup.
He
I
had a
mean, he was okay.
solid
He
He
career.
wasn't.
was
He
okay, but he
wasn't
wasn't
the.
what he
Yeah.
was in college.
So
And
But
I would
but
even argue
again,
like
the roles,
Buddy
like you
Hield, a
said, the
Naismith
roles.
winner, could score all three levels in college every year of his career. Gets to the league and he's relegated to a marksman.
yeah, but I think it's just the skill gap. That's why I
Yeah.
think they're still cool. Like they're still cold and you can see it, but that skill
Yeah.
gap. I
But that's what
there's
I'm saying. Like,
yeah, yeah.
it's bigger to me, the
Yeah.
gap.
Yeah, no, you're 100%. You're 100% because I mean, it just depends though. Because a lot of the times in the league, you'll see players develop and you just don't even think that they're developing. Like SGA's
Yeah.
first few years in OKC were really him developing. He was cold as a
Yeah.
motherfucker, but like you watched him, same thing with Kobe. And not a
Mm.
lot of them do hit the ground running. And you see him like people, especially LeBron stands, they're not going to agree with it. But LeBron's development was a lot longer than people think. People think he was the best when he entered. LeBron was a force of nature, but LeBron was not final boss LeBron until like maybe that second
So
year in Miami.
in
And
Miami, yes.
definitely that
When it
When
was
he figured out
obvious
how to
that he was
shoot.
like, can't nobody fucking hold me in the post,
well
bro. I'm
just
just gonna
that.
bully everybody.
Just
Fuck them.
when he had that flip where it was like before LeBron was the ultimate teammate, blah blah blah. People raved about him, and then he just started making those mean faces and shit, where
Yeah.
he was just like, "Bro, I don't care. Like, I'm going to get this bucket." Like once that switch flipped, then it was like, "Okay, this is final form." But there are a lot of people like Nick Wright who think that LeBron was doing that early in his career, and it was like, no. LeBron was very passive. Once he got to Miami, he could be passive in the right moment, but it was because it was you can't not make that play. But for the
Like when
most
he
part, for the
threw the
most
ball
part,
to Eddie House in the corner.
yeah. But like for the most part, bro, he was taking the shots, he was making the plays. He could have been a defensive player of the year one year, and
Yeah.
like that development, I think was
I don't know. I feel like the NFL isn't really a skill gap. It's a like
size,
a
speed.
size, yeah, an athletic gap. It's not a skill gap per se
Darren
outside of
Sproles had a 12
outside
year
of
career.
quarterback.
It's so this is it's
Quarterback is the only skill I feel like is there's a gap. Like you have
yeah,
to be
yeah,
elite as a quarterback, reading defenses,
yes.
accurate throws, all level throw. Like other than
Yeah,
that, it's just
yeah. There, I know when we were so right whenever I graduated high school, there was a guy that went and played at Independence, and Independence obviously being a JUCO is full of a lot of kids that are just they're really really talented and they shouldn't be at JUCO, but their test scores were like -3. So he was like, really, it's kind of the same gap that people think about in Oklahoma football, high school, where it's like 6A to A or 2A. It's like, what's the difference there? The difference is just the size of the offense and defensive lines. That's it.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like skill positions, there's not like
Well, and
there's
that
only so fast a human can actually be. So like it's not like
Yeah.
y'all are that much faster or that much quicker. It's just you're blocking. You have a 6'6" center as to where in 2A we had a 5'9" center. And that's kind of
bro,
the
and
difference. And that
that's
and
why
from
like that was my argument was like, fuck, dude, we went my senior year in baseball, we went to Van Alstyne, Texas. We were playing against 5A teams in Oklahoma that were ranked in the top three, and we were kicking the shit out of them. We're a little old
right.
3A Chandler,
You're right.
and in basketball, we went and played Harrison DuPont and fucking Carl Albert and got smacked. Like the talent level just in the classes in high school was so much different and
Yeah,
both like in basketball.
I'll say like I feel like once like the biggest gap in what you're playing against, I'll say yeah, I'll go NBA and NFL
Yeah.
because when you actually get around some of them NFL players, like you're like, bro, what the fuck was God on?
Bro.
What is this, bro? What are you,
Especially them cats in Edmond, bro. I'm like, God damn, these
bro?
kids are huge. Fuck.
Huge. Pause.
Bro, like sixth, seventh grader. I'm like,
Yeah,
God.
yeah. You see him, you like, hey, bro, you getting ready to go to the league? Like, bro, I'm 12. Like,
I ain't even high
I
what?
school
am
yet.
12.
Yeah, hey,
I
bro.
am 12.
What? Yeah,
Hey, yo, chill out. Got a full beard and shit.
I am
yeah.
curious though, like, because
I
I've
get a
never even
full
thought to
build
really
till I was
look into that
25.
for like hockey and soccer. Because I'm curious what the gap is like
Oh, it's
from
probably
college.
crazy. It's probably crazy
Well,
because
and I mean, you really only see hockey being played overseas and up north, right? There's not a lot of hockey teams down
Letter
here.
Kenny, baby.
Yeah,
What,
that's
what
right,
a
baby.
show. Oh, Shorzy, what a show. But
Shorzy.
the reason why I bring those up too is I'm looking at the amount of, like, from the US standpoint, right? You look at the NHL, all those guys are basically from overseas. There's not, I mean, there is some homegrown talent, there is some Canadians in there, but I'm looking at, like, what is
It's
the dominant, like, college hockey
give it
team?
time, baby. Give it time because hockey is becoming more and more talked about. It's even getting
Hmm.
segments on ESPN. I've started paying attention to hockey, bruh.
Well,
It is
even
Fuck
the
yeah.
the amount of coverage that soccer gets, like,
yeah, same.
in
Yeah, I
Mexico or overseas. I mean, I'm
kids.
looking at that in the sense of, like, our college soccer players. It's probably 3 to 4 times harder for them to go pro because all the talent's coming from somewhere else. So, like, what is the true gap between, like, a kid from Edmond that's really good at soccer, that's dominating, that goes to a prestigious soccer university?
I don't know
Where
if
does
it's
he
a
end up?
I don't know if it's necessarily a gap more than it's been not being recognized because you are from a place that isn't primarily known for soccer. So a
Yeah,
lot of those, I don't know if it's a true talent gap. It's just recognition as to where in basketball, from some of the coldest hoopers that you've ever played with, that talent gap from like us to them, and then seeing like, damn, they washed out. What the fuck is the talent gap from this dude to that dude? And then you think of what's his name, the old dude from Duke, Singler.
yeah.
Bruh,
Yeah.
Kyle Singler could
That's
go to
how I feel
any
about
open
like
gym in the country and just
that's how I felt about like Rodney Clark or Stevie Clark.
I'd have locked their ass. Nah,
And I'm
but
like, damn, these motherfuckers washed out in
Keaton
college. Like,
Page.
yeah, bro.
at least
But
Rodney
I
Clark
think,
had a decent
honestly,
career, but
between
in
Rodney
college,
Clark
but
and Keaton Page, I'd look at them and I'm like, I don't know. They would have had to be on some Jimmer shit to make it to the league.
Nah, I think they were. You know how you can look back on athletes like a Cordell Stewart and say he would have translated
Mhm.
so much more in the future. I think they would have translated way more to this era of basketball than whenever
Yeah.
they, because back then it was still about running a lot of half court, and they weren't really good in half court sets. They were good because they
Yeah,
could just shoot the lights out of the gym.
they were like Golden State style basketball.
Yes, yes. Once that took
Run
Well,
and
and I'm
over,
space.
also looking at, like Cameron brought up, the perfect point is, like, just the size of the athlete. I mean, you would have had to have been so much more impressive in that time with, Rodney Clark was what, like 6'1", like
no.
6'2"?
Anybody that believes that, never mind. I'm not gonna go into it. I
No, no,
stood
no.
next to
I'm not,
Rodney Clark a couple of times, and that's all I'll say is I'm
well,
6 foot flat.
and I'm looking at those things. I'm also looking, like, how well could he have guarded this talent gap, these other people
Yeah,
that
he wouldn't have.
made it.
That's but again, the game has changed, and we see people not
Hmm.
guarding any people anyways. But let's keep it pushing, fellas. Let's go ahead and talk about one player, any sport that you thought was gonna make it, and they flopped. They flopped. And if
Michael Beasley.
Michael Beasley, oh, that's a good one. Yeah. No, I thought he was really like that. I thought he had it made, and he was. I
Well, the amount
remember.
of chances that he had to come back, leave, come
Yeah.
back, leave, come back, this team, that team, this team, that team. People talk about Michael Beasley to this day. In his interviews, he's so unhinged. I look at him and I'm like, bro, everybody says that you were like that. So why didn't it work?
Because he won, didn't he win the Wooden Award over Durant, right?
Hmm. Yep, he was
Hmm.
the hooper, bro. He was
Yeah.
the
He averaged damn
like,
near 30 points a game
yeah, he was the one
in
that
college.
everyone was like, bro, you can't guard him. He could go like people were looking at him and saying he can go somewhere and be the man, and you know that he's going to give you 30, and then he just fell into what you were
I
just
wonder
talking
if that
about.
was a I wonder if that was, yeah, he just couldn't find his role because he got sent to Miami with D Wade, where he wasn't the man anymore. I wonder if that was had a little bit to do with
Oh,
Why
that.
didn't it work in Minnesota with Kevin Love?
I think his
Like,
confidence was already washed at that
Because he
point.
wasn't the fucking man in
Yeah,
Minnesota. Kevin Love was. That
Kevin
motherfucker was getting 30 and 30.
bro, Bro, they had Johnny. Was it Johnny Flynn who
Yeah.
flamed out?
Ricky Rubio.
They
Ricky
passed on
Rubio.
Steph Curry for Matt Flynn.
Yeah, yeah,
Johnny Flynn,
yeah.
my
You mean
fault.
Johnny Flynn?
Yeah, my fault.
Johnny
Johnny Flynn.
Flynn,
Yeah.
Michael
Matt Flynn was the
Beasley,
quarterback.
Kevin
Lost his job to
Love,
Russell Wilson after signing a big contract.
Nikola Pekovic.
I
Okay,
remember
don't
Peck.
Yeah.
forget.
I
Remember
remember
the
Peck.
name.
I
The
remember
Russian
Peck.
gangster playing
Yeah.
center.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a top, was he number one? Top two? He was a high pick.
He was. I don't know. I
Beasley? He
can't
was
remember.
like
Petrovic.
Beasley was.
three.
We're talking about Petrovic or
Yeah, I
whatever.
was like,
his name
was
was.
Pekovic?
I was gone. I
He was
was like, hold
he
on,
was
because
up
Beasley
there,
was
bro.
in the Russ draft, wasn't he?
2007.
Yes.
I thought.
Was he
no?
7 or 8?
2008?
Yeah, I thought he was in that. Was it the Russ? God.
Did he stay for 2 years in college?
No, he might not
No.
have.
Then he was in Kevin Durant's draft
Shut up.
because he won the Wooden Award over
Where was
KD.
he drafted?
He was
Wasn't it Miami?
drafted.
No, I
he
know
was
where. I
drafted
mean,
by
like,
the Timberwolves. wasn't
no,
he?
I'm saying,
Oh.
what pick was he? No, he came out in 2008. First
Okay.
round, second pick. Yeah, that's why I was like,
Okay.
I can't remember off the top of my head. So I guess he didn't win it over Durant. That's
he
right,
won
because
it.
Durant went with Greg Oden.
Yeah.
Let me see, and I'll tell you all the first few picks. Because that was, Derrick Rose. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot
Yeah.
about D Rose. So it was D Rose, Michael Beasley, OJ Mayo, which you could say Michael Beasley and OJ Mayo were very high prospects that washed. And then it went Russ and
Yeah,
Kevin.
yeah.
Love.
Yes.
That was a good draft.
Well, OJ
God
Mayo
damn.
for sure.
Danilo.
What about DeMarcus? Does DeMarcus Russell always end up in this conversation?
No,
at some
because
point?
I didn't think much of, like, I wasn't
Yeah,
that
I didn't
high
think
on
he
him.
was all that. In
Yeah,
LSU.
I just thought he had a rocket. That was it. He's Drew Aller.
I could say the
He
easy
won.
ones like Justin Blackman. Like I think everybody thought Blackman was going to be a fucking stud, and then he had that great rookie
Oh,
year.
yeah.
But I would reach, and I would say the one athlete that I thought was really going to pop and translate and just didn't was Clay Anthony Early out of Wichita State when he got drafted to the Knicks. And then he got shot.
Yeah.
And then he just fizzled out after that. Because, man, that motherfucker was cold at Wichita State.
Mine is Tavon Austin.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah,
I thought
that's a good
Tavon
one.
was. I
That's
thought,
a good
especially
one.
going to the Rams, and at the time he had Sam Bradford, who I was still like, if you give Sam the right system, blah blah
Some
blah.
time.
Yeah,
How
Some
about-
time in the pocket.
How
Because
about
he can't move
fucking-
out of it.
How about Felix Jones, bro? Because that tandem
I
with
don't
him
feel
and
like he-
McFadden at
Yeah,
Arkansas was
I
solid.
don't feel like
but
he
I think
flamed.
I think
it
he
was
just
a
kept
timing
getting hurt.
thing.
No, I think he just kept getting
Yeah.
hurt, and he
He's
couldn't
a
stay
1,000-yard
healthy.
rusher.
Yeah,
He's a
he was
1,000-yard rusher, man.
solid with Dallas too. I just think I don't know. Maybe he didn't work the way people thought he was going to work, but I don't know if that was a product of that backfield as a whole in Arkansas, because they had some names.
Yeah, they had some dates. Let's see. Who am I thinking of? Do you put Dorial Green Beckham in this conversation?
I don't really feel like he had. I mean, he had the 1 year at Missouri, and then he went to OU and didn't do shit. I don't know. I
I
didn't really
forget
feel
that
like-
he even went to OU. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
I forgot that he even went there.
I would say like Ben
Um,
McLemore. I thought coming out of Kansas was going to be
Yeah.
the truth and didn't do shit.
Thomas Robinson, I
Bro.
thought he was going to be better too. Do you feel like that for Ricky Rubio? The hype that was around Ricky
Yes,
Rubio was
absolutely,
insane.
absolutely. They were
And I feel
treating
like
Ricky
he-
Rubio like he was a made man already, in that like he
Yes.
was the best talent that the NBA draft had ever seen, and he was like, I can remember being like, damn, this guy must be like, he was
Cold as
basically
fuck.
better. Like, and then what, he got drafted and didn't even play, come to the States
Yeah,
his first year.
he
it's just like,
he
man,
didn't.
the
They had to
mystique of
wait
this
like
dude.
2 years.
Yeah, they were like,
2
he's playing
years
with
or
the
something.
Olympic team at 12, and I'm like, bro, this dude is cold as hell.
He's been a pro since he was 10 years old.
Yeah, I was like, bro, he's been mastering his craft, and then he got to the
Ooh.
league and couldn't shoot.
Crazy. All right, crazy thing to if you're gonna look at these overall people that flamed out, I want y'all to name one, and then we give an overall on their career for like a rating, like 1 to 99.
Okay.
Ricky Rubio's a 74.
Overall, I'd
Yeah.
give him.
Rubio, yeah. I mean, he had a decent career. I'd probably say mid-70s.
Yeah, I'd
as
say
well.
78. I'd give him a 78.
Okay.
Just because, yeah, because he could pass. I think that would like his
Yeah.
playmaking, depending, especially if it's on like a 2K
He just
rating.
couldn't shoot, man. He wasn't.
What he
Everybody
developed a
knew that he was
decent,
gonna kick.
yeah, yeah. He
They
was
knew
Yeah.
that he wasn't
Rondo.
really gonna try to score.
He was Rondo in an era that had already pivoted to being a scoring point guard, and it
Hmm.
was just like, eh.
I
Um,
got a, I got one for y'all.
yeah.
Uh, Perry Jones,
Give me a
Ooh,
65 overall.
yeah. I was gonna say
because
he
I
got to
thought
be
coming
like,
out of Baylor, that motherfucker was going to be nasty,
yeah,
especially coming into the Thunder.
he has 68 brown
Boy,
shirt.
68 pounds. Uh, Marlon, you got one?
No, I really don't. Mine for whenever I was younger, it used to be Michael Huff, the safety from Texas that
yeah.
stopped the USC
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that short. I thought he,
70,
I was like, bro,
71 overall.
Because he was
no, he's
nasty
not
at
a
Texas,
71.
bro.
He's like a 64 overall.
I
Or
feel
like
like
Lima,
Lima
Texas has had a,
Swede.
Lima
I feel like
Lima
Texas
Swede,
has had a bunch
Lou Lima
of
Sweet, yeah.
like DBs that were like that, like
sixty-six
The
overall.
Blake Gideon
Ross
kid,
was
bro.
something Ross. You know
Yeah,
what I'm talking about?
John Ross. No,
But not even that,
not
but
John
like
No.
Ross.
even just defensive, Sergio Kendall,
Yeah,
The
because he
yeah,
was nasty,
Thompsons, the
bro.
Griffins, Earl Thomas.
yeah.
Well, Earl Thomas had a good career. Oh, let's calm
Well,
down.
no, I'm just talking about all the other DBs. Like,
Oh
wasn't there
no,
the
I was talking about the ones that I thought I like were really good at Texas, but
oh
then
yeah,
just didn't really do
Oh,
anything,
here's
whether it
one.
be for any reason.
Here's one. Kenny Pickett.
give him a 67 overall.
I give him a
Give him a
66. Third string quarterback on Madden that you'll never see. Never
Sam
do
Ellinger
practice.
is still on Madden. And you know what his rating is? Because I
Is
was
it
playing it the
68?
other day. It's a 57 overall.
Sam
Fuck yeah,
Ellinger?
Sam
Oh,
Ellinger,
then Kenny's
dude,
a 48.
the franchise,
The franchise.
the
bro.
franchise.
I'm trying to think of.
Ooh. What about the Sanchez? Did y'all think that his game was going to translate that well in the NFL?
No, what? I thought he over exceeded his hype his
Oh,
first couple of
dude,
years.
I got another
That's what I'm
good
saying.
one,
And then it died.
Yeah,
And then he
Brian
got
fucking
stabbed.
bro. I thought this dude was going to be nasty as hell in the league. Terrell Pryor,
I
But
can't
I
say
think
nothing.
was
He broke the longest touchdown run by a quarterback on the Steelers, so I can't. You know what I'm
bro.
saying?
Was it 90? 90, right?
It was like 95 or some shit, and that was a
yeah.
Palomalu led
He
team.
was fucking fast,
Yeah, yeah.
dude.
I think it was weird too because they didn't know how to use him. They didn't think he can throw like him as an athlete. I thought there was going to be some way for him to get. He's the only person, well, probably one of the only few people in NFL history to have 1,000-yard passing season and then
Mhm.
turn it around and have 1,000-yard receiving season
Receiving, you know.
the next year. That is insane to me. As far as an athlete, I mean, crazy. Ooh, what about RG3?
No, I'd say injuries did that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Although I am curious, like, because I feel like he was one of those quarterbacks that they would have figured out at some point. Like,
possibly,
he
but he
could throw,
started
but I
well.
felt like his only throws, like his only elite throws, were the long ball. Like, I don't know.
Fucking
I didn't
right.
watch him a lot though, so my opinion's subjective. Like,
Jimmer
I watched him
Fredette
at
was an
Baylor, bro.
overall
You
71.
know who his offensive coordinator was, right?
Corey fucking Coleman.
You know who
Ooh,
RG3's
yeah.
like offensive like staff was too, right?
Uh,
Kyle Shanahan was
oh
the
yeah,
OC.
that goaded
Sean
fucking the
Sean
quarterback coach.
McVay, Mike
Yeah,
McDaniels, like they were all there.
Yeah.
And then they all got fired. That's crazy. Good
Yeah.
job, Washington. That's why you guys
Yeah.
suck.
that coaching staff birthed the greatest negotiator in
Of all
sports
time.
history. There's a
Ridiculous.
lot of them when you think about it, man. Because I don't like Lindell White. He had a couple of good years
Yeah.
at Tennessee and
Yes,
then
sir. And he
disappeared.
just yeah. I've been trying to think of actual big time quarterbacks that were disappointments that I was actually fooled by, and it's really hard for me to get fooled by quarterbacks because I don't believe in a lot of them anyways.
Mm.
Um,
You
Brady
know what
Quinn.
pisses me
You
off
put
about
Brady Quinn up there?
Brady Quinn? That's a good one.
no, I
What
didn't
pisses me
believe
off
in Brady
about
Quinn.
quarterbacks is like some of them I don't feel like were this is gonna be controversial. So I just don't feel like Eli Manning was that great.
He
He
wasn't.
had a great defense and good running game.
He had
But I just
two.
don't feel like when I think of like elite quarterbacks, I mean, he's
I don't
not
think I
up
don't
there with
think
the Bradys and the Mannings
yeah,
and
no. Well, Manning's he isn't,
well, the
but he,
Manning. Yeah.
Eli had elite moments. He didn't
Yes.
have. He
Right.
wasn't an elite player,
Which
Right.
at times gets you Super Bowls, baby. So
especially when you
how
When
get
you
dare
well,
you,
I will tell
Cameron?
you this. I will tell you this. He was elite when they needed him to be in the biggest moments, and that's a special skill.
Exactly.
facts.
But I
Exactly.
also felt like when he wasn't in those moments, he was kind of. I feel like he kind of hamstrung him.
Well, I mean, look at that team. Kid, whenever, all right. So I'm looking at that team defensively. Yes, he had two solid defensive teams whenever they
Yeah.
made their runs and went to the Super Bowl.
I would argue the second one was better than the first one.
Yeah. Who can you name three people that played on that offense outside of Peyton? I mean, outside of Eli Manning.
Which year?
Brandon Jacobs, Hakeem Nicks,
But both of them.
Victor Cruz.
Okay.
Mario
All
Manningham.
right. Since those Super Bowls, how successful were those players without Eli?
Facts. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
But
that's
again,
true.
I think Eli was Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott with 2 runs.
Yeah.
That's where I like. I don't
It's
think
not
That's the
it's not
perfect
it's
comp.
not me
That's the perfect
saying
comp.
that he was trash or like,
No, no, no.
I'm just
He
saying
just
like sometimes I feel like people put him up there because he beat Brady twice, but it's like brother had a solid defense. Like,
no.
facts.
I mean,
I
and,
mean,
and and honestly too, with Marlon's comp was perfect. Like until Matt Stafford won his Super Bowl, Matt Stafford's a better quarterback. But you talk
yeah,
about Eli Manning before you talk about Matt Stafford.
Brother,
yeah.
Matt Stafford was. I'm gonna say this. This is gonna be my hot take, right? And then we're gonna keep it pushing because this is gonna be a hot take.
Okay.
As far as ability, everything that I watched Raj do, Stafford was doing. The difference is Raj had Clay Matthews, Charles Woodson, HaHa Clinton Dix, Devontae Adams, Jordy Nelson, like great offensive lines. And Matt Stafford had Megatron with the Cincinnati Bengals offense, no defense. His backup quarterback was running out of the back of the end zone. Like they were dog shit. And Matt
I
Stafford like kept them afloat. But as
I
far
think
as
it
talent,
matters.
that
I think it matters to the organization. It was like Rodgers had a winning organization. They
that's
knew how
Mhm.
to build a winning team
this
constantly.
this is if and you can see it now for real. If
Yeah.
you can see that if Stafford went to like a good org, he would have been
Yeah.
competitive as long as they could build a decent team around him, just like Rodgers. But like the misconception is that he wasn't on that level because he wasn't winning. And it was like,
Mhm.
no, y'all just aren't watching him because the Lions aren't on national TV. But this
Yeah.
kid is good. They're just not winning. So for a lot of casual fans that don't pay attention to bad football or anything like that, they're like,
Has
oh, it's just
zero
Rodgers. It's
fucking run game.
here's
Yeah.
Rodgers and here's Matt Stafford. And it's like the more you watch it, it's like
The
eh,
only thing that sucks though is they played in the same division and Rodgers got more MVPs. But my God,
but again, it's
who?
easier. How do you win
Yeah,
MVPs? You're on one of
the
the better teams
best
and you
teams.
show
Yeah.
out. You
Hmm.
can't win the MVP if you're on a dog shit team and you're
Which
showing
is
out.
crazy that Matt got his first one this
Yeah,
year.
yeah. My guy's been cooking for a long time. I've loved Matt Stafford ever since we watched that sound effects episode where he's got his shoulder separated and like they called the timeout and he was like,
Fuck
"Fuck
it,
it,
let me in.
basically, yeah, let me in." And he was like,
Let me
"Ugh."
in.
And
Let me fucking
he
talk.
throws the game winning touchdown and then
He said,
everybody's celebrating. He's just pointing at his shoulder like, "Bro, I think I
I'm
separated
fucked.
my AC joint." Shit.
Because you know what's insane is he did not want Dante Culpepper
Oh, he
to
knew
make to
hey,
make that play for the game.
this shit
That shit
was
was
well over, bro.
dead. He couldn't even rotate that bitch by the time he got in the game.
I
Crazy,
remember when
crazy
Dante
stuff.
Culpepper was fucking nasty though.
Facts.
Minnesota.
We need to dive into a Dante
Yeah.
Culpepper chat one of these days.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
so last full topic, 10-15 minutes, WrestleMania night one recap. Um, the reason that I have glasses on is because I'm mourning the loss of WrestleMania. That to me last night, there was nothing that screamed WrestleMania about that other than the entrances. And some of those entrances were longer than some of those matches. I don't like any of it. I think Vaquer and Liv's match was solid. I think Gunther
Hmm.
and Seth was solid. I'm glad that Braun Breaker is back. Him running down that long ass ramp is
Hmm.
crazy work. Like there was some stuff in it that was cool, but there was nothing in it that screamed, "Hey, this is WrestleMania." If they booked that at Backlash, it wouldn't shock me. Like that's just it, like that. It feels like it's Backlash. It doesn't feel like it's WrestleMania. Nothing special.
Backlash.
Everything, yeah, right. Everything has been done before, even up to the Page return being treated the same as the Hardys coming back in that ladder match back in like 2015, 2014, 2013, whenever that was, right? And it's just like, do something different. Stop. Like, why are we in a nostalgia just party? Why is it that everybody that's succeeding has been like their better days are behind them and we know it? When you have a roster full of youth that is ready for it, like, are we just doing this to make them pay their dues? And that's cool and all. But like, make them pay their dues to the people that are actually there and constantly going to be there. Make them pay the dues to their Nia Jaxes or like Charlotte Flairs and maybe the people that aren't at the top right now, but make them pay their dues to them, not these people that were gone from the company and just came back. So that's my biggest complaint. If I was going to give last night a grade, the highest I'm going is C minus.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's crazy because the two, in my opinion, the two best matches of the night. One was a prelim, Fatu and McIntyre, and the other was another non-title match. I mean, I just although you can make good stories, like I'm talking about Seth and Gunther, you can make good stories and good matches out of that, but you shouldn't have your two best matches on a card full of title matches be non-titles, in my opinion. Like especially one of them being a match that you hyped, you had 2 weeks to hype, like to build. I thought the Liv and Valkyrie match was good. I was disappointed because I felt like it could have been so much better. There could have been so much more to it. Like you could have had Roxanne turn on Liv and
Which is
align
coming.
herself with, yeah, like, and I thought that's what they were doing when she came running down the ring. And then I was like, man,
I think they're
but
going to
it's kind of
slow build.
like the Cody Rhodes, the Rhodes Orton match. The ending. I was like, man, dumb. Sorry, that was fucking weak, bro. But I am glad that the after the post match was cool to me. I'm like the heel Orton is back, like full fledged. The face punt, yeah, I like
See,
that. But
I did like that, but I'm just like, why are we extending this?
yeah,
It was not received well, the feud. And yes, is it because you interjected McAfee and Jelly Roll? Yes, but I mean, you just wasted it. Like you did that just like you did with Cena last year, and it didn't mean anything. And then now, instead of you pivoting out of it, you're like, we're doubling down. Now it's going to be more Orton versus Rhodes, and it's like
yeah.
that's the people weren't
Because at Backlash, we will
backlash.
have the
I
final
wanted
match between.
I wanted
No,
so bad for
I'm
like
not trying to cut you off like that. I'm
you're good.
trying to find a balance on what they're doing, and like you said, it was treated like it was a different PLE and not the granddaddy of them all. The the PLE of all PLE. This is WrestleMania. You have to make it a big show, and fellas, I'm adamant about this. Everything that you guys are breaking down and talking about, ESPN posts. I knew everything that went down before we even low key talked about it because I can't get on my feed without seeing something. And every time it's the same stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, cool. Paige came back. Okay, but why is Jelly Roll putting
Well, that's what
McAfee
I'm
through a
saying. Like
table? It's just it's fodder. It's
WrestleMania
fluff. It doesn't
should
have
be full
any
of two
bearing.
things. It should be full of closure and wow moments. But your wow moments can't be celebrities. Like,
Well,
dude,
and you're you said it perfect. WrestleMania is supposed to be used as the period at the end of the sentence. This is where
yes.
we start something else, right? And even if it's something that you already knew was maybe going on, it's best done like bringing Braun Breaker back and having him spear Seth. of like, all right,
Yeah.
this is
That's
over,
a wow
kind
moment.
of, but Braun is back, and now Braun and Seth are. So it's like everyone's doing something else. And so it's very clear, and you're putting everything in like the right direction for what's going to lead to SummerSlam and whatever, right? None of this shit is doing that because I think that the Bellas and Paige and whatever, they're going to lose the titles in a month or so because they're just
Hmm.
giving them their like, hey, you paved the way in the business and we want to give you your just due. And it's like, hey, that's fine. But how many more times can you do that until you turn yourself into WCW? How many more
Yeah.
times are you going to just get over and have the main guys like win the titles, especially when the head of creative is one of the guys who was in the locker room during the Monday Night Wars? It makes zero sense that you are just slow cooking the shit out of these young stars. And I get it. Tonight we'll probably see Oba go over, we'll see Trick, and it'll be a good balance. But it's like this night one card was like all the
Dog shit.
faults of WWE and
Dog shit.
TKO. That's what it is. And hopefully, in my opinion, if they hold it up and if tonight is better and they hold it up and say night one is a TKO production and night two is the WWE production, the entire fans will clamor and say we only want WWE. We don't want TKO making any decisions because you guys have no idea what the fuck y'all are doing. Y'all are picking big names and being like, get him. That's who we want. Hey, well, nope. We got to bring him in. He's gonna put eyes on it. And it's like, how? It doesn't even make any sense. And they're like, we don't care. Get him. And it's like,
Do you feel like at any point they're losing to AEW with
no,
anything?
not even close.
No. I
AEW,
felt
No,
like
I'm just,
maybe in
I'm
like
just,
2021, 2022,
there
it was
was
getting close. But when
Cody.
Rhodes came back to
It
WWE and the story, when all that was going on with the bloodline, I feel like it
yeah,
vaulted WWE
that
back up.
yeah. AEW is I think AEW has some talent that's better than some of
Yeah.
the talent. And if they came over, it would lead to great stories. I think there's
mhm.
talent over there like MJF, who's probably the best talker in on the mic in pro
Hmm.
wrestling
Mhm.
right now. But and he's
Kenny
really, really good
Omega's
in
a
the
really
yeah.
good technical
But they are
wrestler.
afraid
Yeah.
that they would come over to WWE and they would be stuck in the mid card doing nothing, being a tag
Yeah.
team with R-Truth for 3 years
Hmm.
while they're getting older and older. That way you can push Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes for the 50th time, and you can just keep doing the same stuff. So, like
Yeah.
AEW is a cool farm league wrestling system that has a show, but
To me,
Mhm.
like it's UFL to me.
yeah,
Like it's
yes,
got good talent. It's got good pieces that can make it exciting, but it's the substance from top to bottom isn't as deep as WWE. I just and I also feel like they made it like a WCW mistake last week. Throwing the AEW strap on Darby Allin. Like I like Darby Allin, but he's not fucking MJF, and you let him go over on MJF. Like,
and
come on, man,
it's
what are we
just
doing?
for a shock factor. They're
Yes,
they are
that's it.
doing they're doing there has to be a like a middle ground and like WWE is doing the WCW. We don't care how old they are. Bring us Macho Man,
Hmm.
bring us Ric Flair, bring us the Ultimate Warrior, bring us Hogan. Like that's who's gonna run the stick. And then you had your young talent like your Jerichos and all those Rey Mysterios that weren't happy and they wouldn't
Yeah.
give them their shot and then they ended up going to WWE, which turned the entire momentum. That's what's happening right now with WWE. Or AEW is doing the entire flip side, and they are just going for the biggest shock factors moment. Oh, they're putting needles in people's cheeks. Oh, they're blah blah, and it's
Yeah.
just like, okay, that's cool. Like I do want to see WWE be a little bit more adult friendly, but now you're like, this is Saw, dog. Like this is just like Saw
Mhm.
18. Come watch Jigsaw
Yeah.
next week. Nah, bro, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing that I was really gonna add to it, but that's why I'm adamant, guy. I'm not going to
Isaiah, watch
watch
it
it.
tonight. I
No,
promise
I
you.
think
I
tonight will be a
promise
lot
you.
better.
Just two matches. That's it. Just two matches, and I'll
Oba
tell you when
Brock.
they come on. Oba Brock, Trick, and Sami Zayn. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything else you can skip.
why?
Just
But
just
why is
list
Trick even
just
wrestling Sami Zayn?
to win the U.S.
To win
title.
because Sami
No,
Zayn's the
but
US champ.
That's
well,
why.
why does he have the strap?
Who is
Sami
Sami?
Bro,
Zayn's old, bro. Like,
Not
what are we
Sami Zayn is
doing?
like. I mean, he
I
old,
think
but he's not that old.
I think they put the belt on Sami Zayn to give Trick something to win on the biggest
Mhm.
stage because Trick and Sammy they've been teasing that since Trick hit the main card on
Yes.
SmackDown. like with little
And
barbs backstage constantly.
Mhm.
the benefit of like this though, this is the one good thing that they're doing is they're using an established name that most wrestling fans or people that have paid attention to wrestling over the last 15 years knows, which is Sami Zayn, to
Mhm.
elevate their up and coming talent, which I love because it's like
Okay.
it's a springboard rather than if he just beats like Carmelo Hayes. Yes, diehards know who Carmelo Hayes is, but it doesn't make Trick's moment that much bigger. But when you see this dude make his entrance and you hear
Yeah.
the crowd,
The
you'll be
crowd.
like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
this dude is you don't even have to watch the
It's the
match.
same thing with Oba, bro.
Yes,
It's
just let you
the
like
aura, bro.
I will be like the match is coming up, just tune in, watch their entrances, listen to the crowd, and then you'll be like, "Oh no, these dudes are over." And it'll be very
Yeah.
easy for you to be like, "Why is Triple H not pushing these guys?" And it's like that's what the
Yeah.
fuck we're saying. Like they're
I,
there, they are there, and they are. You can tell that they're going to get pushed, but it's like, how much longer do you expect the fan base to wait until they just stop caring? And it's getting close.
yeah. I
See, and
think that's my
I
point,
think
man.
low key, I think Punk Reigns is going to be a good match because it's not going to end clean. Something is
Same.
going to happen. Paul
I'm
Heyman's going to be involved in some capacity, or Jey Uso is going to turn on Roman.
Yeah,
That's my opinion. That's
I
my
I
prediction.
I think that one is cool as far as them being older and like made names and stuff like that because the feud is actually good. Like the
Yeah.
back and forths have been good, and that's not a match that's been crammed down our throat. That's not a match or two guys that really have. Punk has been back, but he wasn't. I mean, this is really his what second run. Roman's
Yeah.
has Roman has not held the title in 2 years. Roman has lost almost every besides winning the Rumble and stuff. Roman lost hell of matches. He lost at
Yeah.
the eliminate or not the elimination chamber, but the
Crown
Survivor
Jewel
Series
and
match. And yeah, he's been
yeah.
losing like for the most part. So it's cool if he goes over. If Punk goes over, it's cool too because he's only had the title for like 2 or 3 months. So I'm fine with it. I like that feud, but I think going forward, if they don't go for the youth, bro, I'm fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But all right, finishing up and entering closing. Last night, the Cincinnati Bengals made a blockbuster trade. They traded the 10th overall pick for Dexter, Sexy Dexy
sexy
Lawrence
Dixie,
from the
sexy
Giants.
Dixie,
And I was curious y'all's thoughts. The Giants now have what pick 5 and 10,
and 10. Yes.
and Dexter Lawrence with Cincinnati helping their defense at least stop the run.
Yeah, but they still don't have edge rushing. I mean, Shamar Stewart is if he gets his head out of his ass and actually wants to play football and not have any sort of like problem with the organization before he plays a snap like he did last year and really buys into the team, I think it's very beneficial. Really, it makes it interesting on the Giants side of you got two top 10 picks. Who are you going for? You got your running back, you got your receiver, you got your
They're gonna
quarterback.
go. One of them's gonna be running back. I guarantee it. Just because I keep seeing them talk about running backs, like how they need a running back. Because I think the same thing. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
Because
I
you got a
mean,
decent one too.
yeah, Tyrone Tracy and Cam
Yeah.
Scatterboo. I mean, maybe you d- they're gonna have to shore up something in their linebacking core or their
I was gonna say
secondary.
they may not even go Jeremiah Love. I think the easy take is to say they're gonna go Love and Lemon. That would be you add Lemon next to Neighbors, and then you
Mm-hmm.
have Love with Jackson Dart. Like that's electric. But
Hmm.
offensive line maybe
Yeah.
somebody to
They
replace
should.
Dexter Lawrence, maybe a
Hmm.
linebacker. But again, I think it's they have options, bro. They're at Costco right now
Yeah.
making a decision on
Yeah.
what they want. They're not
Yeah.
at Dollar General looking at five things and like, man, we got to make a decision on one of these. Nope,
Yeah.
they're shopping in bulk.
Yeah.
I
And
think that Cincinnati just spent a top 10 pick to replace Hendrickson.
Well, it's two different
essentially,
positions.
yeah. I mean, two
Yeah,
different
but
positions, but that contract is really going to be the. I mean, he's on his second contract,
He's
which
29 though.
is
I think it's easier to justify paying a 29-year-old than it is for Hendrickson who's like 34 or 35.
yeah. And I also think too, like Hendrickson's seasons, they weren't a fluke. I don't think they were a fluke, but I think that he just had a great year, but consistently since he's been in the league between New Orleans, Cincinnati, you look at him as a decent pass rusher.
Yeah.
You don't look at him as a game wrecker or game changer the way that you look at
Correct.
Dexter Lawrence, which is
Same.
what Dexter Lawrence is.
Yeah, I think he's a good piece. I think like you mentioned about Shamar Stewart. When I heard that they had traded, I was scared. I'm not finna lie to you. Whenever I first heard that the Bengals got him, I was scared because I was like, mother f worder. They have Dexter Lawrence. Caleb Downs is gonna fall in their lap, and just like that, boom. And now I'm like, all right, cool. Like it's a cool
Yeah.
trade, but like Cincy, they still have to fix their offensive line. Like
Yes.
their issue, like I think their defense is going to be better because everything is better than what they've been putting out there. But the
Mhm.
biggest issue, I don't think, was just defense. You can't protect your like $60 million a year quarterback.
You man, yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean, offensively, you look at him. You got a serviceable tight end in Gesicki. You got arguably one of the best wide receiver duos in the league. You got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You got a pretty good running back prospect. Well, not prospect, but a pretty good running back. Dual threat out of the backfield as a running back. What do you need to do? It's offensive line for them, and it's defense. So you can trade. It's really hard right now in the league to trade for an offensive lineman that's of a high caliber right now. You have to develop them through the draft. You're not trading Joe Alt if you're the Chargers. You're not trading, a Lindstrom. You're not trading those guys. You either let them walk
Is it?
or you develop them. That's it. That's the only reason you're getting a decent offensive lineman now.
Yeah.
they still have Zeus. They
Yeah.
need. I think they. I mean, they used some draft capital on offensive line last year. It's just about developing. Um,
Yeah.
but I think it'll be a mixture. My one thought, and obviously, I'm not saying that he's to blame as much as the bad offensive line, but I do think at times Joe Burrow tries to play hero ball just a little bit too much, especially
Hmm.
as of late. He used to make quick decisions, similar to Brady. He didn't take some of those shots that he's taken. He's not running around and try. He was just
Hmm.
making smart, calm, cool plays, and that's why that he was Joe
Joe
Cool,
Cool,
and now
baby.
he's
Yep.
out there like I'm Cam Newton, baby. You see this swag, and it's just like, no, bro, you are Macaulay Culkin. So I need you to chill out and just chill, because like him in the preseason, I remember watching him do the little Kenny Pickett spin out
Hmm.
and get smashed in the preseason, and people are like, look at his offensive line, just watching him get crushed. And I'm like, yeah, who, brother, you're the franchise quarterback doing this in the preseason.
Yeah.
Get rid of the ball and go to the sideline, bro.
Not only that, do you think the O lineman knows where you're at? He has to read the the D end or the D tackle to figure out where you're at
He probably also
because
mad like,
he's
bro, throw the
blocking.
ball.
Yeah, yeah, they're blocking somebody straight up, and you reverse spin out, and you're trying to shove a guy to the inside, and you roll outside. What does that leave the offensive lineman? His leverage is going this way. What does the DN do? Go the opposite way and fucking run you down. And yeah,
Yeah, I just want to
it's
I
see
give
hard.
him. You said what, Kev?
I give Zach Taylor 6 games.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Gone.
Okay.
It's
6 games, bro. They come out and they fire off a 2-4 to start the season. He's out of there.
yeah. I'm curious too, since they don't have a first rounder this year, what
Yeah.
their second through seventh round picks are going to look like. Are they going to trade a couple or try to get aggressive and get, maybe you lost a first rounder, maybe you get an additional third or a second or something like that, and recoup the pick kind of that way? Because they don't really need a skill position. Some of those linemen in the second round are going to be fine, especially at guard. You can get Prognon from Oregon if he slips. You know what I mean? You're not going to get an Ione, but you can get a solid guard, or maybe even a tackle or a versatile tackle. That'll be an upgrade for them. So I'm curious if that's what they're going for. But fellas, I'm kind of interested in the Giants now. I had
Yeah.
sold my
I
stock. I was
mean,
like,
yeah.
and I'm interested, man. I'm very, very interested because shit, if they took a page out of Sam Presti's book, they would take them picks and they would get more picks.
And more picks. and more picks. I mean, I like their. I mean, Dexter Lawrence didn't want to be there, which to me, I almost feel like he could have waited until maybe midseason if they're not playing well, or say I want to be traded after the end of this season because there's a lot of potential on what they did in the offseason this past year. You're getting Neighbors back, you're getting Scatterboo back. Jackson Dart had moments, the defense was playing better, and you're a part of that. But to be like, nah, fuck y'all, I'm out. I get it because they're not winning,
I
but you ain't winning in
yeah,
Cincinnati right
but
now either.
I would be curious if it was more a decision based off of the front office coming to him and saying that we're not going to give you a contract at the end of this one. Our plans
I
are
can
for
see that
building
too.
the youth, and he was like, all right, cool, like I appreciate it, and it was like a mutual agreement, and it wasn't like, man, we're not winning, I want out of here. I think it
Yeah.
could have been the like, hey, bro, we're not gonna give you what you think you're gonna get, or like go test free agency. And he was like, all right, well, just instead of doing that, why don't y'all get something out of me? And they were like, bet. And I mean, I like Dexter Lawrence. He's a game record, but like very
hmm
rare do you give up a 29-year-old for the top, like the number 10 pick. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
that value is
crazy.
it's a
That's
lot of
insane.
money
A
in a top
lot.
10 pick. A
Yeah.
lot of guaranteed money
And
too.
you can do
I
whatever you
mean,
want because if they wanted to use it and trade out until next year, say somebody wants to move up for Caleb Downs or and they're like, man, we'll give you our first for next year for that. Now you get 2 first rounders next year. And that
yeah,
draft net class next year is supposed to be a lot better. So that's why I said they're shopping at Costco.
yeah, they have. I'm trying to do some quick maths. So in the first 2 rounds, they have 4 picks. And I think overall they have like 10 picks in this draft. So, I mean, they really have the potential to do something with those and make sure that they develop properly, especially having 4 picks in the first 2 rounds. And 2 of those picks are top 10 picks. And then at 37 is their next pick. Yeah, 37. So they're getting some of the top build guys like pretty early. So they can make some noise with it, that's for sure.
Facts. And closing out and leaving the people with something, I'll go ahead and start. KD, maybe if you drinking, don't be JT. Lakers in 5.
Ooh. Say it one more time. Say it one more time, Marlon. Unk style.
KD,
What?
AG,
What?
come see. Lakers in 5.
What? Ooh. Cam?
I got no rebuttal.
I have nothing.
No, I'm saying what you want to leave the people with before we wrap.
Uh,
Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5. Nah, I hope it is Lakers, man. I'd love to see the Lakers in the second round with Luca and Reeves back. I think that'd be a fun series. So bring it on. Shit. Other than that, man, appreciate the listeners like always. Drop us some comments. Let us know your takes. You guys that follow WrestleMania. Um, let us know what one of your top damn drinks are, non-alcoholic beverages. Let us know.
Isaiah.
I'm gonna leave the people with this, okay? Let's make this short and sweet. Spurs and foe. We kicking in the front door. Your mom's a hoe. Spurs and foe. No, I'm just
You want to say Lakers
But-
in 5? Lakers in 5, baby. Lakers in 5. We out.
Nah,